A Christmas Story is easily my favorite Christmas film of all time. Even though it was set in the 1940s and was filmed in the 1980s, it has a timeless quality to it that many different generations can relate to. After being a moderate box office success upon its release in 1983, A Christmas Story has gone on to become a cult Christmas classic. That's mostly due to cable networks TNT and TBS airing it in a 24-hour marathon every Christmas since 1997. Many people have seen this movie countless times, but there are a few interesting things that those people may not know about it. So with that, here is 10 things about A Christmas Story you may not know. Number 10. A Christmas Story was directed by Bob Clark. Technically, this wasn't Bob Clark's first Christmas movie that he directed though. He also directed the 1974 classic slasher Christmas horror film, Black Christmas, which is about a group of sorority girls being stalked by a mystery creep during Christmas break. This was obviously a much darker Christmas film than A Christmas Story and was actually a big influence for the horror film genre. Number 9. The film surprisingly may have never been made if it wasn't for the success of the 1981 raunchy teen sex comedy, Porky's. After Bob Clark directed Porky's, it raised his status as a filmmaker and MGM allowed him to direct his coming-of-age Christmas passion project. He, along with writer and narrator Gene Shepard, whose life the movie was based on, had been trying to get the movie made for over a decade. Number 8. Most people probably aren't aware of the fact that this was not the first portrayal of Ralphie and the Parker family. PBS previously aired made-for-TV movies written, hosted and narrated by Gene Shepard which featured the Parker family and predate the 1983 holiday classic. The first TV film was titled Phantom of the Open Hearth, as part of an anthology series called Visions which aired in 1976. In 1982 PBS also aired The Great American 4th of July and Other Disasters, as part of an anthology series called American Playhouse. These movies featured familiar characters and story elements later seen in A Christmas Story, such as the famous leg lamp scene. Both movies featured actor James Broderick as Ralphie's father, the old man, while the 1982 TV movie featured a young Matt Dillon as Ralphie. Number 7. Did you know that the director Bob Clark actually made a cameo? During the famous leg lamp scene, Bob Clark can be seen outside as a passerby, asking Ralphie's father about the lamp. Ralphie's father, played by Darren McGavin, tells him he is busy and to not bother him. When Clark's dim-witted character keeps asking about it, the old man tells him it's a major award. Number 6. Speaking of cameos, Gene Shepard actually made a cameo in the film as well. Like I said earlier, he wrote the movie with director Bob Clark and the film is actually based on his life as a child. He also provided the narration in the film as adult Ralphie. His cameo appearance in the movie is playing the father waiting with his son to see Santa, and sternly telling Ralphie where the line to see Santa begins. Number 5. During the scene where Ralphie is dreaming about being a sheriff and taking out Black Bart's gang, the prop master gave actor Peter Billingsley real big chief chewing tobacco to chew during filming. After about 15 minutes, Billingsley started feeling sick and director Bob Clark yelled cut. Clark was told that Billingsley was given real chewing tobacco and he started yelling at the prop master, telling him that Billingsley was only 12 years old. Billingsley rested on the couch in the living room set for a while, and when he was ready to continue he was given smushed together raisins to chew on instead. Number 4. Everyone remembers the infamous scene where Flick, his triple dog, dared to put his tongue on a flagpole. You can rest at ease though knowing that young actor Scott Schwartz, who played Flick, didn't actually have to perform the stunt of sticking his tongue to a frozen pole. The crew actually rigged up a hidden suction tube on the pole hooked up to a vacuum which kept Schwartz's tongue in place, making it appear as if it was frozen stuck. Number 3. When the bully character Scut Farkus, played by Zach Ward, first appears, the wolf music from the 1936 symphonic fairy tale Peter and the Wolf plays in the background. Peter and the Wolf was written by famous Russian composer Sergei Prokofiev. In fact, the name Farkus is actually derived from the Hungarian word for wolf. Canadian film and TV composer Paul Zaza was responsible for a lot of the music in the movie. He has said that he didn't want to rely on horror movie-style music for the Scut Farkus character and chose the wolf part from Peter and the Wolf because it has some nastiness to it, but it is also still playful. Number 2. For the scene in the Chinese restaurant, director Bob Clark wanted to get a real reaction from actress Melinda Dillon, who played Ralphie's mother. She was the only cast member who was purposely given the wrong script and had no idea that the roasted duck brought out by the waiters would still have its head attached. Dillon was surprised upon seeing it and was genuinely shocked when the waiter chopped its head off. Number 1. You might be familiar with the newly released HBO Max sequel, A Christmas Story Christmas, or even the critically maligned 2012 sequel film, A Christmas Story 2, but did you know that there was already a non-Christmas related sequel released all the way back in 1994? It was called It Runs in the Family, and was later retitled My Summer Story, and it was about the following summer after that Christmas. Bob Clark returned to direct and wrote the script with Gene Shepard, who once again provided narration as adult Ralphie. It starred Charles Grodin as Ralphie's father, the old man, Mary Steenburgen as Ralphie's mother, and Kieran Culkin as Ralphie. Well, that was 10 things about A Christmas Story you may not know. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Also, let everyone know about how much you like A Christmas Story in the comments and tell us which interesting thing about the movie from this video you liked best.